Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer1745 here, and we've just been discussing all kinds of things on the live stream on Twitch, so you should join us sometime Saturday mornings, my time in California. Now it may be evenings or other times depending on where you are around the world, so you will be catching some of that during this episode, but you're missing out on a lot of fun stuff. Okay. Just want to do that. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me over on Twitch, and like these videos. I really do appreciate that. Well, you got to remember also, Canada's has its crazy prime minister currently. So we can understand why Britain isn't siding with Mr. Social Justice communist dude of Justin Trudeau, who is son of the earlier Trudeau. I forget his first name. Well, let's quickly go through here. Okay, let me see. Collect him. We're going to look and see if all of our generals, if any of them, because we have enough command points, to see if we can give them extra traits. No. Ah, see, this will happen like that. And let's see your options currently. It would look like organization first is our only thing we can do, so let's spend 15 on him. That will help. Okay, that was all that we can do from our current crop of generals. Well, I think he's about the worst, and in many areas. Citing against Canadian veterans while giving money to jihadis who were imprisoned by Americans. And they were, I'm sure, treated roughly, the jihadis. I don't know if they were treated inappropriately, roughly. That's, you know, I'm not disputing, well, maybe I am to some degree, of what they're claiming happened to them, but I'm sure it was to somewhat degree rough, but maybe not as rough as they're sort of like going on about. Okay, we're going to send one of these divisions down this way, one this way. Yes, we're dividing our force, but I'm hoping these will both be small enough forces in which we can hit them. Okay, pushing these Indonesian forces. Keep wanting to see them as Polish forces, but because of their flag now. I know it's not the same flag, but it's very similar. Okay, well, now they're moving there, we can hit here. With an attempt to keep them. Okay, good. We've also got the pockets dealt with. Okay, guys. You drive that way. Now, how are our fleets doing here? Okay. Yes, all the destroyers. And we might as well also take all of the cruisers. And we're going to... Osawa, yeah, we'll keep him as... Oh, come on, just go up there. No, you guys can stay there, the battleships, while you get repaired. We're gonna let those guys repair. But I want to put... Oh, we're gonna let them repair a little bit too. Now over here in Yokosuka. Okay, no, I don't want to transfer them. Okay. This is it. Okay, speed 26. Speed 26. Sort of what I was worried about here. And what are the speeds here? 29. Okay, CVL and CVE. So these are 24. Okay, so it's still it's just moving at 24 is maximum at the Hosho. Okay, that's all right. So we're going to let's. Basically, we're going to transfer all of them. Now that they're all here, okay, you. Where is the Jinsu? Why am I not seeing the Jinsu? Oh, there it is. Okay, because that we're gonna leave that in port to get repaired. And the Huruna. Up. Hurana. What did that just... That got him transferred, I think. Okay, good. Yes, okay. I think those are the two most damaged ships. Those are the ones I'm really sort of worried about. Okay. Now we have a carrier group here, which we're going to leave a little while, because I don't know that I need to send anybody else out there. We've got 6 transports. These guys are battling transports. Good, that should be good. Now also, how are we doing with our bomber types? Fighters, okay, naval fighters 400, okay. Naval cast 400 torpedo bombers. Okay, we've got plenty of those. That's perfectly good. And these guys, yeah. The Japanese very much continue. Hey Django, are you out there paying attention right now or not? Not that this is important, I'm just got something I want to chat at you about if you don't. If you're listening. We haven't got a airport down here, which we want to do. Ads, as in a paid ad somewhere? No, I haven't seen some. No, I just wanted to talk to you about tanks and some stuff. If you're not busy. Django. Okay, Django, and this is for anybody else who's watching now or watching later. Does anybody have any idea of what the Germans thought about the Americans, and to a lesser extent, the British? This is something that was interesting to me, and I know Django's been reading a lot about Barbarossa, and though this doesn't really so much cover Barbarossa, but how the Americans would withdraw tanks from active duty service to be replaced by newer modern tanks, and basically to some extent either junk or give tanks to other nations. Because the Germans, we look at so much that they're, not only are they making new models of Panzer IVs, they're taking old models of Panzer IVs and upgrading them. And when they can't do some of that successfully, like Panzer Is and Panzer IIs, they're putting anti-tank guns and all the, they're doing all this kinds of stuff on tanks to keep them useful. Where the Americans are going, that's an older model Shermans. We don't need any of those. We got a bunch of newer models sitting in our fields, tank parks near the front. So we're just swapping out the old tanks and not using them anymore and putting the new tanks in. Does that ever come into the Germans thinking that they're being so outproduced by the enemy that the enemy doesn't even need to use all of its tanks that it has already produced? I've never come across a German thought on that, and I don't know if they just didn't know because they didn't have the intel on that, and they presumed that the Americans were using every tank they could, like completely withdrawing all of the Grants and Lees. They completely withdraw all of them. The only thing they're using towards the latter part of the war is some of them as tank recovery vehicles, but with no armament on them. And the only reason they're still using them in 44 and 45 is in the Pacific and Burma campaigns against the Japanese, which had almost no tanks at all, and their tanks that they had, couldn't really affect the Lees and Grants. Yeah, okay. And so it's just the idea that, if they were aware or not, and it really should hit them. I haven't finished Hans von Luck's book yet. And yeah, there is the sheer amount of material, but the idea that obsolete tank designs weren't being upgraded. They were being upgraded in some cases. A bunch of Shermans were withdrawn, sent back to America, and were being rebuilt for Commonwealth use. But a lot of tank models, eventually at some point, they start getting rid of all of the M3 Stuarts and replacing them with M5 Stuarts, but not upgrading the M3s. And they weren't just replacing as battle damage knocked the old tanks out. They were, sending the M3s back to the, to be scrapped at some point. And I just wonder if that ever comes into their calculus of... I just haven't really heard or read anything on that subject. Okay, we don't have any more air bases out here. Okay, well, since we don't have any more air bases, okay, have I ever mentioned that I hate the current state models? In that, I guess we can upgrade this air base, but we can't build additional air bases. I mean, in a way, upgrade is sort of the same thing, but we need more air bases there. And we'll build one there. Maybe we'll control it or not. I don't know. Yeah. I know some of the reasons why they did this state, but but I just think it's a big mistake. It doesn't really benefit. Okay. There we have that. Let's shift you guys. No one is fewer. So let's also come over here. No, but we have Burma. Where is... Oh, this one. Okay, that's good. That's good. Everybody to Burma. Everybody to Burma. There. And down here, how are we doing? Okay, we've got plenty of more space for more aircraft. We're going to use these guys to help defeat the Americans. Fleets, okay. The reason I'm creating so many smaller units is because I need to cover multiple sea zones. Okay, so we got these guys. You cover up to here. Fighters and bombers. You cover the strait. Fighters and bombers. You can operate down into there, okay. Somewhat at least. You've got shorter range, but you can still operate in here. And if you see any ground targets. Okay, so we're getting that. Now, do we control the airbase down here yet? No, not yet. Okay, we want to do that soon. Ah, we took out a heavy cruiser. Good. And, ooh, another heavy cruiser and 2 destroyers. Very nice. And we're currently battling that. Okay, new DD class. Good. Well, Yamato battleship. How many days? 45 days. Okay, I don't know if we're going to build any of them, but we'll design one. They're just not really worth the production cost, I don't think. They were to fight a war that didn't happen. A naval war that didn't happen. Getting there. I'm more winning. Okay. It's not to me so much about am I controlling, saying, the Indian Ocean with naval power. That is an issue. But what I'm mostly concerned about is winning naval battles wherever they're to be fought. Now, of course, we want to protect our invasion fleets, like these guys here coming in. So we need to control the seas. We want to protect our shipping. So we want to do that. But and we want to deny that to the enemy, no doubt. So those are some areas. But as I'm seeing this, both from a game perspective as well as looking at a historical perspective, we've got to successfully win battles, particularly against the U.S. Naval forces, because if we can sink them, we will then be able to go out and control wherever we want to. And that is the critical mission element as I see this. Once we're, they came after Guam very early on. Guam was, of course, a long-term U.S. possession, still is a U.S. possession. I don't think we can walk there. No, didn't think so. Some of these islands obviously are well connected. I'm not planning on defending, and the Japanese in a way weren't either, planning on defending their islands with troops. These guys are not having enough ports, but they're here to take out some of these things. We want to have some units here so that it does require an invasion to take them, a realistic one. But we're planning on defending them with naval and air power. And naval and air power, obviously land base, I'm effectively limited to the naval basing. Okay, you guys in port. No, you're out doing things. Okay, good. So we are limited by that. And how is our I just saw that with radar. Okay, we're still getting through some of these radar issues. Now let's move you down. And there we go. I want the air bases. They'll be faster and get them done quicker. So that's sort of why I'm not necessarily breaking out into. I am both gratified by the views of many of my viewers, and I'm also concerned about the views of many of my viewers. And the reason for the gratification is that I'm meeting online, of course, so many people who agree with me. Part of the problem I have is, and I really don't want to scare away, that there's so many people that like what I have to say, is because I'm worried that I'm not reaching people that disagree with me. And I don't expect to change everybody's mind. I just don't expect that as a realistic thing. But I want to have it is important to me to have people who disagree with me, not, like I say, not to change their mind, but understand why I think, and of course others like me, think the way I do. And not just in the caricature that the left will, oh, they're just racist, oh, they're just Nazis, oh, they're just, people that, and I'm not the far right. I'm not any of those things, but they want to characterize standard Republicans as being racists. They want to, characterize maybe hardline conservatives as being Nazis and whatever else. And I want to try to show the people who, like I say, may never agree with me, but to show that we are good people too, that just have different solutions to whether it's local problems or world problems than they do. They're different solutions. I'm not saying better, I think better, but different solutions. And if they just thought, oh, well, they want to solve that problem too, they just want to go about it in a different way, I think it would be a better place in a better world. But maybe that's just me dreaming. So yeah, it's nice to see people agreeing with me. I just have that sort of worry and concern. Okay, you guys and you all now attack up to here. Okay, you're defending, you're coming in to defend and counterattack once you get there. Oh, I meant to have the count. Oh, I hate these counters. And you're having to retreat because you advanced out too fast. And okay, no. There we go. Just a second, let me scroll up on the chat here. Well, I find on meeting people that disagree with me, I find a lot of people are unwilling to hear opposing views. And so I think, and I know a few specific cases, some people have encountered some of what I've said on different YouTube videos and just left because they can't hear my viewpoint. Others, I will say, and few of them are European-based socialists, and they go, I disagree with you, but I still like watching your videos. So I agree. There are a few that come out, and I know their viewpoints, and we've debated issues on, the comments below, and I'm very happy to have them here, and I tell them that, and I mean it, because I'm not trying to just have a group of the people that agree with me on everything, for sure. And I'm not trying to convince, like I say, I don't believe I could. I mean, it would be lovely to convince the entire world to agree with me. But we all know that that isn't going to happen, and that isn't my goal in the slightest. It is to explain my positions, to get those who want to question what they believe or why they think things to maybe move in my direction, those that are questioning it. But if you're already so dug into your position, fine. You're not going to change it, but maybe you can understand why, like I say, why I think the way I do, and maybe we can get along and agree to disagree, and so, yeah. Yeah, I know, Azad, you're one of the few who disagrees and stays and is pleasant, and I, as you know, I really enjoy that, because I don't want to be having any sort of idea that you've got to agree with me or get out or whatever. I want to talk to other interesting people, other informed people who oh, good. We've got more speed. Great. That'll get us more supplies coming in. You get the airport there. Oh, good. We are ashore now, too. Trash this battle plan entirely. Can you go there? No. Okay. You can't go there, but we can come up to here. And can you get out? Yeah, up to there. Secure that island and well, we need to build okay, we don't control enough of it, or it's the wrong state or something, I guess. I don't know. See, again, they built the Japanese had multiple airports around this area here, and they, of course, famously came in and started building an airport right about here. And then the Americans, within a day or so of landing, took the airport, renamed it Henderson Field, after Henderson, one of the pilots who died somewhere doing something around here. I forget whether he was shot down or crash landed or something. And so that there were, and this is again why I hate this sort of state mechanic, in that you can have, is this Bougainville up here? Because this is Rubal. This was sort of the main Japanese Solomon Islands base, but Bougainville was somewhere, either the island or whatever, and they had a major, or at least for this in this region, somewhat of a major air base there. that the Americans were fighting against while having down here in Henderson Field. So need more air bases need to be on A. So yeah, I want more air bases because I want to win with an air battle as well as naval power. Well, I've been reading, I'm currently reading right now Nimitz's sort of main biography, Admiral Chester Nimitz, but I've been reading a bunch of other. Now that we have a garrison, come down in there. No, come this way. Stuff I've just the Crucible, I think, and Conquering Tide. I just got done with the Conquering Tide, which was looking both sides, but mostly the U.S. viewpoint of the Pacific War. It's been very interesting. I'm going to be talking in more detail about all of this stuff in the Hearts of Iron 3 campaign dealing with Japan. But it was a fascinating war. I've always been more interested in the you come out to there and then over to here. In the European theater, but I've always read and watched movies to some degree about the Pacific, and obviously from where I'm located on the coast of the Pacific coast, used to be able to look out my window and see Pacific saltwater, not the ocean, but inner harbor region. Now I'm a few blocks away from it and can't see it, but that's how close I am to the Pacific and Pacific things. Okay, just checking out. The Germans are on my border over here. How interesting. Okay. Why, I don't know. Let's see how they're doing. Okay, they're holding the line seemingly pretty well here in Italy. And on that note, we're going to end the episode. Not the chat. You guys on the stream continue to hang out. But I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. Please post questions, comments, suggestions, corrections. See you next time for more Hearts of Iron.